you've been pioneering Pro-AVL Indonesia for a number of years now. Tell us how that has gone.
The industry, of course, is evolving, as you know, right? Things is always changing, new technologies and all that. So that's great. Yeah, I started the AVL Singapore event about 3 years ago. We incorporated tourism technology, and after 2 years, the market is small, and then I start thinking about, doing it in a bigger location where hopefully the community can benefit more. And you probably know that Indonesia didn't have really a proper professional trade exhibition in this area. And that's how I started speaking to a established event organizer there, which is our partner now, known as Krista Media, or Krista Exhibitions. Together with Expos Asia, and because they are very long established in that country and very well connected, and I think I do need a partner locally to do a good event. And that's how I started to speak with them and collaborated jointly to launch Pro-AVL Indonesia, incorporating tourism technology, because that's also an area that is upcoming in terms of tourism and infrastructure development for attractions and tourists. So we had our first run last year in July, and I must say, though it's not very big for a first-time event, but it's well covered, and more importantly, the exhibitors and the visitors were very pleased with the show. And they are looking forward to this coming event in July, actually. And most of them said they would come back. So that's the good news. Then we are hit with this coronavirus thing, right? Just more than a week ago, the numbers just escalated exponentially last week. And we felt that it is quite critical. And Indonesia is a developing country, and their healthcare and all that is not as good as Singapore, let's say. The local government advisory, we decided that we should cancel the event and postpone it to next year.
With a trade show, you're spending 362 days preparing for those 3 days. And if you cancel that out, all your work is gone. Yeah. All your preparations, yes. The money deposits. It's a catastrophe for you. And I really, really feel for not just yourself, Rosalind, but all trade show organisers that seem to have been put in this awful position this year, being wiped out. Tell me how much preparation you put into this and what waste that this has caused.
In terms of loss, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean the most costly, of course, is hall rental, right? Because we do have to put deposits on hall rental, and it's not cheap. I think that's one of the key costs. The other key cost is manpower, of course. And these are really the key overheads, including marketing costs. Yeah, so organizers generally suffers a lot with the overheads that we have to continue to sustain in any events organizers, so to speak.
Coronavirus is an extreme version of SARS, but you suffered as well with that. Talk us through 2003 from your point of view. During
SARS, that's in 2003, I think it's, if you compare with the COVID-19 now, it's really very different. This virus is exceptionally stronger than SARS, I feel. And whilst we feel that we are prepared for this kind of virus, having overcome SARS during the 2003, just Singapore, for example, is we somewhat think that we are able to deal with this virus, and our healthcare sectors are ready to combat such viruses. Plus, we have business contingency plans that is already done before that could be actually used for current situation. But then we will land smack with better understanding now that actually this virus was worse off because you don't know that you do not know that you are infected. There's no symptom at all. So there's no way of you being able to tell whether you are infected or not. And that's how we see so much spread going around. I really sympathize with Italy and Spain and now US, getting so bad. As a country, we had to do a lot of preventive measures. Unlike SARS, we don't have to do so much, and like now factories are totally shut off. Airlines, planes are closed, are shut down, right? So countries have to initiate lockdown. We never had that before. I mean, we all try to contain ourselves, but this is drastic, we have to do lockdown of countries. We have to do social distancing, as you say, which we didn't have to do that. We could still go for coffee and meetings face to face as long as we know we are okay. But now we can't, we can't do all this. So it's a totally different epidemic altogether.
It's worrying when we'll all go back to normal again. But we have to take positives.
Yeah.
Can you take any positives out of this at the moment, Rosalind?
Well, the positive side is we try to use this so-called Lao time to send our staff for training. And the good news is there's a lot of grants from our government that provide that. Something like we get 90% subsidized, for sending our staff for upgrading. So this is good in a way to prepare for the rebound, and then maybe we are upskilling our staff in different courses. It's
not been easy, and I really feel for trade show organisers like yourself, Rosalind, because you're at the forefront and you plan an event, and once that event gets scuppered, there's no plan B. It's an age-old phrase, but we are in it together, and we help one another, and we suffer together, and we help one another. So no one's doing well out there at the moment, but as a community, I feel we're more galvanised. We sympathise. As long as we sympathise, understand one another, I think that's our help.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree totally. We have to work together, ride this wave, and then we can see better times together as well. Yeah, we do need to help each other.